Yeah.
Change the pictures.
Later.
I've changed the picture.
No.
So I can use it. Okay, hello everybody. My name is VIRPI ERONEN, I come from Finland. We just heard Christina's words from there, from Luleå, about there. And I come from nearby Joensuu, from eastern Finland. You can see Russia here, and Sweden there, and we are somewhere here, down there now in Palermo. This is my school. I have a short presentation of my school and then some special support that we give to the pupils. Viinijärvi School is a basic school. There are pupils from the first grade to the 9th grade, primary school and secondary school. Here you can see the outside of the primary school classes from 1 to 6, and then the secondary school classes, the upper classes. So the oldest pupils are 16 years old and the youngest ones are 7 years old. Viinijärvi belongs to Liperi municipality, so we have about 2,000 inhabitants, and we have had 13 years all those classes in Viinijärvi to teach. And in Finland we have also inclusion and integration, like in Sweden. All the pupils should be there in the normal classes, mainstream classes, but if there are pupils with severe disabilities, they can be in special classes or also in special schools. And we have that 3-step support. I will show you a picture, and I also have a brochure for you, but not with me today. I think I'll give it to you on Thursday when we have a group discussion about these things. We have more than 300 pupils in my school. There you can see the numbers in primary and secondary school classrooms. And in Finland, the cost efficiency is in average 8,000 per pupil, and it includes all the money also for the special support. And in my school it's a little bit cheaper. In my school there are total amount of employees 47 persons, and annually the money we get from the government, it's 2 million euros in my school. There is the personnel of my school, very official picture, and as you have been speaking, we are all different, so we make also some different days in my school. This is the celebration of 1st of May, and this is the group of us teachers. You can see also me there playing the guitar, blonde hair.
Beautiful.
Thank you.
Very beautiful.
Something about the curricula. We have secondary school, we have 30 hours a week, in primary school a little bit less, and the national curriculum gives the core to learning, but you can have some changes inside the classroom if you need to give some more support, or just give education with the smaller curriculum in the very core curricula. And you can get support from special teachers. In my school we have 3 special teachers, 3.5. One is coming only part lessons, to give part lessons there. And maybe you have heard in Finland we have free food for pupils every day in school canteen. And also school transportations are for free for everybody. And my work, you can see all kinds of things here. I don't know if you give teaching also when you are working as a principal, but in Finland we have to give some lessons also. I have one group that I teach also, 3 lessons per week. Okay, we have made some very good things. We won the national prize with cooperation with Red Cross, and that is the good news I want to share with you. And I have some bad news also. My school, the secondary school of my school is going to finish next autumn, and they are going to combine our pupils to the nearest school in Liperi. It's 20 kilometers from my commune, so we don't have the small classes anymore as we have now. Now we have about from 14 to 20 people in one classroom, and next autumn 24, 25 pupils in one classroom, so that's a pity. But that's for, they want to save money. That's bad. And I want to show you that three-step support we give in Finland. This is the school system in Finland. I'll give you that brochure later. You can see these things there. And something about Finnish basic school, you can read it. But this three-step support in basic education in Finland is quite new. It has been a couple of years in Finland. And I show you this triangle. We have all the disabled pupils in our mainstream classrooms, almost all, and the general support is given to all the pupils at school. Then if you have some difficulties with learning, or if you are in a way physically or mentally or neuropsychiatrically or neuropsychologically disabled, we can, after making some observations and tests, we can make the pedagogical assessment made by teachers, and then you can get some more support, intensified support. And we make a learning plan for you. And also there in intensified support, all the support you have got also in general support level, you'll get in intensified support also. And after that, if it's not enough for you, we'll make a pedagogical statement, and then you'll get the EIP, Individual Educational Plan, and then you'll be on the top of the special support. And it needs administrative decision of special education. And in my school, all the pupils are in this level, and in this level, there is about 20 pupils now, and 10 or 12 in that special support level. Here you can see the things we do in general support level, all the things we have already heard here. Then with the learning plan in intensified support, you can get some more guidance from a special teacher, for example. And then the special support, mostly you have the core syllabus, so you don't study everything like all the others in the general support state or level. And in my school, we have one special class. There are 11 pupils there in that special class, and the disabilities they have behavioral things like ADHD, and then we have Asperger, autistic persons, Tourette persons, and some mentally disabled persons in that classroom. And I want to share you, my own son has Tourette syndrome. It's some kind of autistic syndrome, and he is in that special class also. And as you can see, we can give all kinds of support to our pupils. And there are lots of different kinds of things. We'll discuss about these on Thursday on group discussion. Thank you very much. Do you have something to ask? You can see the lifelong learning way here nearby my house on the lake.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Hello everybody. How is the internet a wonderful on the semi-presentation of? My name is Gillian. I'm from Northern Ireland, and we have quite a complex situation in our very small country. Next slide, please. Right. I work for the Inspectorate of Education, and we inspect all educational institutions within the country. We have one chief with 3 assistant chief inspectors, and there are 59 inspectors for all the schools and institutions. As you can see, there are a lot of schools in Northern Ireland. We have only a population of 1.6 million, which is very small, but yet we have all these schools. And that's because we have a very diverse sector, and historically it's very difficult to integrate everybody. So we have nursery schools, primary schools. In the primary school sector we have schools run by the Catholic Church, schools run by the local education authority, schools run by the integrated sector, so they have to have 50-50 balance of children, and schools that only teach through the Irish language. So that's 4 sectors throughout the whole country. The same in secondary schools, and then we have selection at the age of 11 for those people that want to take the selection exam, and there are 68 grammar schools who are very, very strong in saying, we don't want to be included in any other sector, we will stand alone, thank you very much. Their results for exams are extremely high, and we have people who emigrate across the water to Northern Ireland to take advantage of the grammar school system, because it is guaranteed success for children, but of course select. We have 43 special schools for children who have a lot of special needs. Parents get to choose whether they send their children with special needs to mainstream, or they can choose special education. If the parents choose mainstream schools, the school must make reasonable adjustments for the efficient education of the children. So it's not an exclusive situation for children with special needs. They can be totally included in mainstream if that's what parents wish. But the special schools are highly specialised and very successful in meeting the needs of their children. They are very high quality schools, and parents value them. So altogether we have around 1/3 of a million children in education in Northern Ireland. The smallest school I've ever inspected had 8 children. And this is on a very small island called Rathling Island off the very north. And when the weather's bad, the sea's too rough for the children to travel to mainland. So for primary education, they have their own school, which is run by the Catholic Church, but there are all religions in the school, but only 8. 1 in each year group and 2 in year 6. So it was very, very small, but very, very effective because each child had an individual program. And the biggest institution I've inspected had around 25,000 young people. It was a college for further education. And within that college, they had around 900 learners with special needs of one kind or another. Okay, next slide, please. So, within the SEN context, nearly 20% of children have been diagnosed as having a special need of some aspect. And this is learning only. So you may have a physical disability, but that means you'll be in whatever your local school is. We have no children with hearing impairments in Northern Ireland anymore. There are no children below the age of 11 with a hearing impairment because there's been a national programme of cochlear implant for over 10 years. So all the babies, all the young children have had cochlear implants, and we no longer have children with a hearing impairment. So to get a statement for educational needs, you're assessed by an educational psychologist, and you have a formal document which entitles you to extra educational support within your school. And that's decided on an individual basis. It may be extra teaching time, it may be smaller class, it may be an individual support person just for you. So you can see there the figures we have. 4,500 children altogether in special schools. The vast majority are in mainstream, nearly 14,000 children in mainstream. Okay, next slide please. And that's just a graph there of the kind of disability we have. So mainly the yellow colour is mainly cognitive learning needs. SEVD, the blue one there, social and emotional. So children with social and emotional behaviour difficulties. Sensory is the tiny little one because hearing impairment has disappeared. We have children with visual impairments still. And physical impairment again, very small. Just means you go to a special school and they will make adjustments with ramps or lifts or whatever you need. Okay, next one please. And in the post-primary sector, it's slightly different. More children with medical conditions, more children with behavioural and social needs. Okay, next one please. Excellent. Okay, so there are the figures we're talking of. Over 15,000 children with a mild learning difficulty. 10,000 with a general cognitive and learning difficulty, and over 8,000 with a moderate learning difficulty. So altogether that means 13,500 children with a degree of learning difficulty. Speech and language difficulty, just over 8,500. Dyslexia, over 6,500. EBD, behaviour difficulties, over 6,000. Autism, around 4,000, and severe learning difficulties, just over 2,000. Okay, next one please. The Inspectorate use the same template, if you like, for looking at the quality of learning within the school. And that's shared with schools. So schools can look on our website and see exactly what we are assessing. Next slide, please. So we look at the leadership and management within a school, we look at the quality of provision for the learners, and we look at the quality of the achievements and standards. So 3 different categories we always look at, and that's how we write a report. So we say that you have very good leadership and management, maybe, your quality provision, very good, or it can be outstanding, and maybe quality achievements and standards, good, very good, or outstanding. Next one, please. So this is the kind of detail that's all on our website and shared with schools. So we don't come looking for things that schools don't know about. Schools know exactly what we look at. We have a cycle of 7 years of inspection. So every 7 years, usually a school will have a brown envelope, as I say, open it and find that we will arrive in 2 weeks. And we say, please don't do anything extra. Just do what you always do. But the lights are on till very late at night. Saturdays and Sundays are cancelled. That's their choice. What can you do? Next one, please. Again, yeah, the next one. Again, this is more detail. If you want to look at the details on our website, next one, please. So generally, when we look at a school, we look to see, number 1, the pupils. Are they participating well in the lesson? Are they working well individually and in groups? Do they understand what they have to do for that lesson? Are they able to complete their work in that time? Do they enjoy their work and have a sense of achievement? And we always say to our inspectors, don't be afraid to talk to the children in class. So we'll sit down at a table with the children and say, how do you like this lesson? And they usually say, we like maths, or we like English, or whatever. But sometimes, you know, they'll say, it's boring. We just have to sit and listen. Because children will always tell you how they genuinely feel. Okay, next one, please. For the provision for learning, we're looking at the teacher's provision now. Has the teacher planned effectively? Are they thoroughly using assessment information for that lesson? So they're looking at all the children's needs and thinking, this child will need extra help with this, or this child learns best through a visual way. Are they managing the work and the pupils well? Is the work challenging? Are they thinking of a good ethos for the children to support them with their learning? If the children need therapy support, is it evident? Are the children learning well? And because we've put hundreds of millions of pounds into ICT in schools, are they using it effectively? Okay, the next one, please. The leadership and management, and of course this is a focus really on the principal and the management team. Is there a clear focus on learning for the school? Not about the budget, not about how well the school looks. Is it about learning for the children? Are they using classroom assistants well and other therapies? Are they involving all the children at all times, so there's no marginalisation for any of the children? Are they managing the behaviour well? Because we find almost 100% of the time where the lessons are interesting and stimulating and exciting for the children, there are no behaviour issues. And where the lessons are boring and slow, then the children fill those gaps with behaviour because they're children. Is there confidence in the school and high expectations for all the children? And is the teacher and the management evaluating the work on an ongoing basis? So they're thinking, are the children continue to learn well? Are the lessons coherent? Is there progression throughout the school? And are they taking account of individual needs? The next one, please. These are performance indicators which we use. Again, they're shared with schools. At the moment, there are 6. There used to be 4. At the moment, there are 6. We're revising those. So with the very best learning and teaching and schools, we're saying they are outstanding. They are sector leaders and their practice should be shared. And so for those schools, they win a very special prize of having the television cameras arriving in their schools to film their really good practice, to put it on a website so that other schools can see what the outstanding practice looks like. Some teachers don't mind it, others absolutely hate being filmed. The next level is very good, and again, those schools are seen as highly effective for all the categories, for learning and teaching, for management, and for achievements. Then it comes to good. Satisfactory is okay, but you really need to improve. And if you get a quality level of satisfactory, we come back within 2 years to see that you have improved to become good. Then the next one is inadequate. That means things are not good enough, and we will be back within a year. If you have unsatisfactory, then all kinds of support kicks in from the local authority and advisors, and you are on really a very tight schedule to improve. And the Department of Education will follow that up within 2 years. If the school hasn't improved, is still unsatisfactory, then they will close your school. That has never happened so far. Schools have improved sufficiently well to stay open, but it's there. Equally, teachers can be found to be within this performance grade, not as an individual, but we grade the lesson they have taught. And again, if it's unsatisfactory, that teacher has to improve their practice quickly, or else they'll find themselves without a job. Again, it's very rare that it happens. But we now have a new system that if you are outstanding or very good for your school, we come back within 2 years, just for 1 day, with a team of 2 inspectors. And we look at what the school wants us to look at. So if the school says, we've been working on provision for autism, please come and look how we've improved. Then we go and look at their evidence, we look at 4 lessons, and then we give a report back to the school that same day. And say your practice is very good, or your practice is good, or your practice is outstanding. And then that's it for another 2 years. Our reports are very concise, they are evaluative only, there is no description in them. They are 4 pages long. We start the inspection on the Monday. On the Friday the same week, the school gets their report back and the draft inspection report. And within 2 weeks, they have their inspection report in a paper copy in front of them. The school is allowed to comment about the accuracy of any facts in it, but they are not allowed to challenge our judgments. All the inspectors have been teachers, usually head teachers in schools, and we have been inspected. We know what it's like, and so we try to make the process as user-friendly as possible. My background is in primary education. I was a teacher of 5 to 7 years, and then I moved to special education. I was a head teacher for 10 years, and then I moved to the Inspectorate, where I've been for 10 years. So we all have school backgrounds, and we are, I think, sympathetic to schools. But our overlying reason for the work we do is to make things better for children. It's about children having the very best education they can, because that's their way to the future. Northern Ireland has a history of deprivation, of civil unrest for 30 years, parents who have only known civil unrest and difficulties and lack of work. And the only way we can help the next generation is through education. And so that's why we do the job we do. Okay, thank you very much.
I have a question.
Yes, certainly.
Is it like this in Northern Ireland or in the rest of the UK also, this inspection?
No, just Northern Ireland. The UK have a system called Ofsted, which is different than what we do. There are,
very similar.
yes, there are similarities.
similar.
There are similarities,
Yeah.
but we, Ofsted are a private concern. We are part of the education department for Northern Ireland. Although we are independent within that. It is quite similar, but not the same. Thank you.
Now we can have a 10 minutes break and then we will start again.
Thank you very much. C'era un attimo il letto, 10 minutes break. Yeah. Break. Too much information. Too much for you. Yeah.